Okay, hello there. We have a new season, and with the new season, they introduce a new event where you can get a max level unit. There is a quest for the T4 unit selection box, and if you buy the battle pass, you get the gold one. And in gold box, we have the Hussars, Reapers, and the Shenji. And I figured it is a good time to refresh my Iron Reapers guide. So let's get started. Okay, if you don't know Iron Reapers, they are special melee infantry and they have swords and flails, which you can switch between during the match. And the flails are better against shields because they have very high block break and they just smash shields very quickly, and they got bonus damage against tower shields. And the swords have better damage against like infantry. So yeah, also swords attack faster and they have better multi-hit than flails. So swords are kinda all-around good weapon against most of the units, and flails are like specialized against shields. They have two skills, the charge and the tiger step. You always want to charge with the flails because the charge is stronger with flails. It debuffs enemies and in general it has more damage with flails. So the effects are that flail charge always breaks enemy block and knocks them down, and it reduces armor penetration and armor of unit. Basically, it makes enemies deal less damage because they have less armor penetration, and they also take more damage because their defenses are reduces. And in general, flail attacks reduce enemy defenses. The effect is not that visible, but yeah, they take a bit more damage for all sources when you hit enemies with flails. So yeah, in general, what you want to do with Reapers is charge with the flails and then switch to swords and use Tiger Step. The Tiger Step improves the AI of Reapers and it also gives them CC immunity while using the swords, so that's why you want to fight in the sword mode. Another thing is that during the charge they also get CC immunity and it lasts for a few seconds, so in general you want to keep them going while they have skills. You don't really want to use them without skills. They also have very important unit trait, which is very heavy armor. They get 60% damage reduction and it lessens when they get hit, but using the skills resources to full 60% reduction. So basically you want to go in, take some damage, use skill to refresh it and so on. And then you can go heal them up if they survive to get some more kills with them. Okay, so let's take a look at the Veterancy. They have 3 lines. For the longest time it was not really important which one you took because all of them were good, but currently I feel like the +1 hit is mandatory on them because it increases their damage by 50%, because they normally have 2 hits and with that they have 3 hits, for example with the swords. It's kinda random because sometimes they get 1 more, sometimes they get 1 less, but in general with swords they are very consistent with 3 hits per attack, so yeah, it's pretty big damage increase. And then you have 2 choices. Go with the, I guess you can go all the way with the middle line and get more hero damage and blunt damage, but personally I prefer going with the bottom line for full defenses, because they have a lot of like rear damage reduction, increased defenses, reduced damage. So yeah, I feel like they needed to survive in the block fights. And if you go with the top line, there is not really that many useful nodes in there. You get also some defenses, so the same thing as on the bottom, and you also get some slashing damage and penetration and rate of attack, but it's also not that impactful on them. Like in theory you could go with the top for max damage, but I feel like it's not that much. I feel like the defenses have much bigger impact, so that's what I'm going with. Okay, and as for doctrines, you also could go with the defenses or offense. For sure the combat doctrine is mandatory on them because they proc it very often and it heals them, it gives them CC immunity, more damage, so yeah, like perfect unit for that. Other than that I have leadership and all the damage. But you could also go with defenses and damage reduction and things like that, or mix and match them. I feel like it doesn't really matter. It's also worth mentioning that they have extremely high armor, so increasing their armor is actually worth it, because over 1000 is the range in which armor increases have a lot of impact, because it's kinda hard to break this armor. But yeah, with the bottom line they are very slow, so keep that in mind. I mentioned that the combat doctrine is mandatory on them, and you can easily get it from the exchange in the war scholar menu. Just get this eclectic doctrine selection and you can take it from there. But for that you need the doctrine spirit, which you can get from the max level battle pass, the free one, so you don't have to buy anything. Yeah, right there. Or the T5 seasonal unit challenges. But the caveat is that you have to finish the challenges in this season, because otherwise it won't be in the box anymore. Other than that, it can drop from excavating the infantry site on this war scholar menu. Another thing is that you should never charge into the pikes. It's because you take a lot of impact damage, which can actually kill few of your reapers instantly. As you can see in this clip, I lost few reapers on the impact, but then I cleared hell bodies without any problem. But if I just walk into them and use tiger step instead of charge, I kill them all without any losses. So yeah, never charge into the pikes. Next topic will be about reapers versus cavalry. Avoid fighting cavalry at all costs with reapers, because they are just too slow and they have very hard time killing any fast moving units. If you don't have any anti-cav nearby, you shouldn't walk on the ground if you think that you can get charged by cavalry, because yeah, reapers cannot really fight it. And this is an example why do you need tiger step. As you can see, with normal attacks they just kinda stand there and don't attack much, but when you use tiger step they can stack up. I mean, there is no unit collision and they get much more aggressive, so you don't have like models standing behind not doing anything. And they also get this little dash which makes them much quicker. I also didn't mention that with the middle line the flails have chance to knock down enemies with basic attacks. It's completely random, so sometimes you can get one knockdown after another, which is kinda funny against heroes, but yeah, personally I don't really use it, because as I said before, the swords are generally better in fighting, but yeah, keep in mind that flails can knock down with the middle line. I also have this clip which shows how much impact the rear damage reduction from bottom line have. As you can see, reapers take less damage from the back than from the front if you go the bottom line. And the difference is quite huge, so considering that in the fights you very often get hit in the back, it should allow them to survive much longer. Okay, that will be it for the refresher on Iron Reapers. In summary, they got a new trait, very heavy armor, which gives them damage reduction, which gets reduced when they get hit, but you can refresh it with the skills. Also, their flails got a little bit buffed because they have additional effects, like reducing armor and armor penetration of enemies on charge. They also switched them from ignoring block to almost instantly breaking it, which is much more useful for your team. So yeah, I think that Reapers are in a very good spot right now, and I hope this video will help you use them effectively. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you found it useful, and see you next time.